Good evening, guys. Good evening. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. I knew that it was going to be heated again between South Africans and Nigerians when Miss Universe is so close. But to be honest with you, the whole issue, the whole saga is super exhausting because I'm asking myself what we're going to gain with the recent one now as South Africans, because I just feel like the entire exercise is going to be fruitless. It's fruitless because we are already too late. We are already too late because we allowed Chidimma to live with her mother and her father. So I just feel like the whole thing that we are trying to do now is just it's exhausting. To begin with, I do believe that Chidimma is an innocent person in this whole thing, quote unquote, as an innocent person in this whole thing, because I argue that she was innocent for a certain period and then she became part of the crime up to now. This I believe, because I feel like as a courtesy, as a woman, as a girl who was shocked, as a girl who was supposed to be shocked and in tears, she was supposed to at least, even if it's just a short tweet like this, even it's a short clip like this, to say, I am so sorry to the girl that has missed out on her life because Chidimma was using her identity. That's why I'm saying this is not a crime that is not without a victim. Somebody lost out on entire life, or her life was taken. Chidimma is flourishing because she took somebody's identity. Where is that love to say, you know what, I am sorry this happened to you. I had no idea that this is what happened with my parents. She chose the victimhood lane. So anyway, this is not the focus of my topic now. My focus is, do we need to do this now as South Africans? Do we need to do this right now? Because I just feel like it's not going to take us anywhere. It's not going to take us anywhere. And I was satisfied with Chidimma being in Nigeria. The identity fraud was uncovered, and we found out that the whole thing, her identity was a scam, and somehow she managed to be in Nigeria with her parents. So we witnessed her being crowned as Miss Universe Nigeria. So our own carelessness in South Africa, our own failure to handle such cases, or any case for that matter, I just feel like in South Africa, if we are not a South African and if you are here illegal, you can just commit any crime and exit and go back to your country and nothing will happen to you. This is how I feel. It happened with Bushiri, it happened with many others. They'll be talking on the other side, yo Alf Lukau, yo, there are just too many. The one that is unfortunate, the one that is unfortunate. I don't know what's the name of that pastor. Oh, this pastor that had church in called Elizabeth, that is going through prison time. What is your Pastor Omatoso? That one was unfortunate. He is inside. So what I'm saying is, this is Kwena Molekwa, the one that was leading in the uncovering of Chidimma's identity, that it was fraudulent, it was a scam. She is still the leading lady in writing to Miss Universe, pushing for the disqualification of Chidimma. And also what transpired in an interview that she had, it was she had an interview over the telephone with some podcaster. It was, she said that the Home Affairs, you see, this is why they accuse the Minister of Home Affairs, Leon Schreiber, of not taking other issues seriously, the issues of immigration, the issues of illegal immigration seriously, is because he considered, they say, it's not me who's saying so, they accuse him of considering such matters as black issues, so he is not really focused on them. Please, these are not my words. These are not my words. These, you can look it up. People are starting to accuse him like that. That he's taking these issues of immigration and the borders and all of that as an issue as a black issue. So Kwena is leading on that one. She wrote an email to Miss Universe, and Kwena is also a politician. I think she's a patriotic action essay person. So she wrote to this thing is exhausting me, you know. She wrote to Miss Universe. She's pushing for the disqualification of Chidimma, and she has stated her reasons in that letter. A well-written letter, by the way. It's very well written, and she said some things. I'm going to read this with you. She said some things that I agreed with. For instance, the one that Chidimma, at least as somebody that was innocent. Can you imagine? You are benefiting from the crime, the stolen identity. You are shocked. You are messed up yourself, because she said that she was messed up. Imagine the person that the identity was stolen from. Imagine what that person is going through. So I want us to read what Kwena wrote in that email, in that letter that she sent to Miss Universe. And the letter says, to the Miss Universe organization, we, the undersigned, respectfully urge you to carefully consider Chidimma VANESSA Adetshina role as an ambassador for Miss Universe. An ambassador should embody compassion and support, particularly for those facing adversity. We highlight the case of a young black South African girl whose life has been profoundly impacted for the past 22 years due to her identity being stolen by Chidimma's mother. This grave injustice has not only caused extensive suffering, but has also led to her inability to obtain her identity documents, access education, and secure many other basic rights. The persecutions of this situation have left deep emotional and psychological scars that affect her daily life. While Chidimma may claim she was initially unaware of this situation, we believe this to be untrue. Upon learning of the girl's struggles, she had a moral obligation to take responsibility, extend an apology, and advocate for justice. An ambassador who chooses to ignore the suffering of a fellow woman cannot truly represent the values we expect from Miss Universe. Compassion, empathy, and accountability must guide our representatives. It is crucial for an ambassador to not only recognize but actively respond to the pain of others, particularly those in vulnerable positions. Maintaining an ambassador who fails to uphold these values sends a troubling message about the organization's commitment to justice and solidarity among women. I agree with that. We urge you to consider the implications of endorsing an ambassador who does not demonstrate genuine care for those who suffer, especially a fellow woman. The Miss Universe organization has the opportunity to stand firmly with those in need, reinforcing the importance of compassion in leadership. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. You know, when it comes to the part that at least Chidimma should have shown some remorse, or if not remorse because she didn't commit this crime, at least show compassion to the person that who is a victim who is a victim of this crime that benefited her. You know, she could have come out of this clean. Whoever advised her and her family did injustice for Chidimma, because she could have come out of this very clean, and all the eyes would have been sitting on her parents' shoulders. Or anyway, let us read the reaction of Herman Mashaba. If you don't know who Herman Mashaba is, he is the president of Action SA, the political party that Kwena Molekwa belongs to. He said, "I truly admire South Africans who are not prepared to just sit back and be armchair professional critics, but citizens of action. That is how a nation is saved." Yeah, as I was saying prior to reading Herman Mashaba's reaction, yeah, Chidimma could have just shown that he is feeling, he has some feeling towards the person whose identity she has been using for all these years, and the person who has lost out on her entire life. And this one is like me. She said, "I just don't understand how this is still our issue now. She's out of our hands. Surely there is more where our action is needed." But I guess Chidimma is an easy picking. I wouldn't say Chidimma is an easy picking. I agree like 50% on it. I think the frustration more with some South Africans is that all the time, most of the time, people who are in our country illegally tend to commit crime and they are untraceable. Even those that can be traceable, they get to escape. Do you understand? I think that's the reason. This that is still Kwena Molekwa. There she was reacting to the attacks that she's getting from Nigerians. She said, "Imagine being dictated by foreigners on how to pursue justice for identity fraud victim in South Africa. Chidimma, Adetshina and her mother, Nabela Rungo, broke the law in South Africa, and justice must be attained. You can insult Kwena Molekwa all you want, but that young black South African denied her birthrights and citizenship, didn't choose to be a victim of identity fraud. For 22 years, her life didn't exist." You see, when it gets to this point, that's when you start to see the seriousness of this whole thing. Even if you are not a South African, even if you are a Nigerian for that matter, if you are the person that loves justice and you stand for justice, you cannot take this lightly. Chidimma is flourishing, she's living her best life, which is true, at the expense of somebody else who couldn't rightly benefit from her own identity. And Chidimma couldn't even say sorry. She couldn't even say sorry. She was on some, "I don't owe you anything." So I feel like on my own side, I just feel like this whole exercise of pursuing Chidimma is going to be like so fruitless. It's not worth the energy. That's what I'm saying. It's not worth the energy. Because if our own authorities, because according to that interview that Kwena Molekwa was on, I discovered that from what Kwena was saying, and she was saying with facts, that even Home Affairs, they didn't open a criminal case. The NPA said this case was not on the list. Do you understand? Now they are waiting for the NPA to formally charge Chidimma and her parents, because they were given a chance to explain what happened. They were given that opportunity. That's how fair South Africa has been towards them. South African law has been and government were very, very lenient. They were given a deadline that at such a date you must have provided us with an explanation why we shouldn't file charges. Why did we get here? Basically, how did we get here? But they didn't do that. Still the Home Affairs didn't pursue any criminal charges. So you look at this, you see, this is where the frustration of many South Africans comes from, that Chidimma is not the only case. And now the fact that Chidimma is always on the limelight, I think this is the biggest irritation for South Africans. That is why they are pursuing this. As for me, I'm like, it is exhausting. It is exhausting. Even if Chidimma wins, I just want the Miss Universe thing over so that everybody could be saying, I knew that the tension will be renewed at this stage. So it is what it is. I just thought, let me bring this here, and then I hope we close this chapter. after we have the Miss Universe winner, whoever that would be winning, whether it's Chidimma, because at this stage there is whether it's Chidimma, whether it's our own Miss South Africa. And you know, the thing that I think really Chidimma should have apologized to this girl whose identity was stolen by her parents to benefit her. Some even South African celebrities view Chidimma as a victim, and they vocalize it. Do you understand? Her own thing was just to say, I am so sorry to the girl whose identity was stolen. I didn't have a part in it. I didn't choose it. I really feel her pain. That's it. I think they continuously pursue her because we didn't hear anything from her side recognizing the girl who is a victim in this whole thing. Anyway, guys, if you watched up to here, yeah, I really appreciate you, because that video is a bit long. I really appreciate that you watched up to this point. Do have a lovely evening. This is South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here.